Welcome to the Piece of Music Podcast. I'm your host, Pete Dallas, and with me today I'm going to have special guest, comedian Denise Vasquez. We are going to give her a call through Skype right now. So let's get that started. Hey Denise, are you there?
I'm here.
Awesome. So, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So what's new in your life?
Oh boy, where do I begin since I last saw you? How long has it been?
Yeah, about 2 years. Close to a year and a half, yeah. It's crazy how fast the time goes, right?
It's crazy. Well, since I've seen you last, I've been focusing more on stand-up comedy, and it's been an amazing, crazy roller coaster ride, but I love it.
Awesome.
I think the last time I saw you, I was hosting an open mic, right?
Yes.
And I had just started pursuing stand-up comedy. I was still doing a little bit of music.
Was that at the Cork Lounge?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I moved the open mic to Paladino's for a year, and it was an amazing space, big stage. They're still going. I'm just trying to focus more on stand-up comedy, hitting the mics, producing my own comedy show right now. I produce 5 shows at the Chinese Theater at a club called Inside Jokes Comedy Club.
Nice.
And moved it over to Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank in the main room, and it's been going great. We actually have a show this Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Awesome. So if you're out in the LA, right? Correct?
Yes.
If you're in the LA area, be sure to check out Denise. So you've been hosting what is it? It's woman applause. Is it a plus in the middle? How do you say that?
It's WA plus men
Okay.
for applause, and the reason I have the plus in the middle is because there's women and men on the show.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to find a fun way to share that. So I call it WA plus men for applause.
What plus man for
Shining
applause?
the light on amazing talent, sharing the laughs for applause. And it's so much fun going out and finding amazing talent. And some are new up-and-coming comedians that I see potential in. And some are comedians that I love sharing the stage with or always wanted to share the stage with. And I like finding talent who I think would go well together and complement each other and flow the show, you know.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been trying to have on my show is people that I see putting in the extra effort and the extra mile for others as well. When I met you and you were hosting the open mic, it was like, wow, here's another person who's giving their time to help all these other people to try to carve out a little niche in their dreams. So I appreciate that and I applaud your efforts. What I'd like to know is how did you actually get started doing that?
Hosting or
Hosting.
putting together shows?
Hosting.
It probably, it's been a while. I started hosting my own shows back in New York City, early 90s. I love people and I love putting together events. And in New York, it started with little music shows. And then I moved to the Virgin Islands, lived out there for 8 years. And the music scene in the Virgin Islands was dominated by men. And I was working at a restaurant, and I kind of convinced my boss to give me the restaurant after food hours, after they stopped serving food and the kitchen closed. So it took some convincing, but my first big event really was in the Virgin Islands. I put together a 12-hour music festival, music, comedy, dance, and scouted all the talent. It was this beautiful restaurant on the beach called Panini Beach. It's still there. And the first one took me about 6 months to put together because in the islands it's hard to find people who flow well together. PA system is trying to find a needle in a haystack, finding the right sound guy, finding the right talent, and putting it all together, and sponsors. But the first one
Wow.
19, maybe between 1997 and 1999. My memory's like, oh, but I did down in the islands like 6 12-hour music festivals with music, dance, poetry, comedy, and then when I moved to LA, I did a big one at El Guapo, and the Red Cross needed some donors, so brought the Red Cross in and let them collect names to get blood donations, and Greenpeace came down and handed out some flyers, and OvarianCancer.org came down, and so I started a community called Wood Plus Men for a Cause, where we share causes and bring awareness to a lot of causes and share information, and so that kind of intertwines with what I'm doing. They cross promote each other,
Mm-hmm.
and it's another good way to share information, bring awareness to talent and causes and people, and it all started in the 90s. It just kind of came together. It's part of who I am and part of my being, and I work really hard to share my being and share what I love, and share information, and some people like you get it, and I appreciate people like you in my life who can't do it without a team, and you can't do it without the right people. So for me, it's a matter of continuing to find the right people to share information and come together and to keep building and creating and producing, and yeah.
Awesome. So then you started comedy around that time too, or before?
I was always doing comedy and improv, and I started doing theater and acting and improv in New York over 20 years ago. I'm 46, so when I was a kid, my mom was always putting us in dance and acting and music, and I got into SAG after in New York back in the 90s. I was doing a lot of theater. I was in 2 improv groups, one called the Grown Ups Playground, and one called the Nat Turner's Review, and they're still both going in New York City. I was also in a sketch comedy group called the Wet Girls, Women's Experimental Theater Group,
Okay.
and they're on to other things, but they're all still doing theater. And so theater, performing, and comedy have always been in my life. I go with my muse. Sometimes my muse wants to create music, so I just step out of the way.
And how long have you actually been doing music?
Huh?
How long have you been doing music?
Well, music's always been in my life too. My first instrument was the recorder, and I talk about that in my comedy in the first grade. But I learned violin when I was in junior high school. Got really good on that.
Wow.
Always was singing in choirs and at school, and doing shows at school. And I didn't pick up the guitar and start writing my own songs until I was probably like 28, living in the Virgin Islands. And there wasn't a lot of opportunities, coming through to work on movies and TV. So down there, I learned you had to create your own opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it was singing, playing guitar, putting on shows, that kind of find ways to do what you love.
Yeah.
And you never let anything or anyone stop you. So to me, music, comedy, it's all colors on a palette, and it's all one. So they've all been in my life. I'm an artist,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't see them as separate. They all, to me, are part of creating, So sometimes in my comedy, I feel like writing a funny song, or busting out a rap, or whatever, and whatever flows.
Yeah.
So I find the more instruments I have, the more tools I have, the more I'm able to really create or get my message across or get my point of view across. So it's just, I see music as a tool, but I've been doing it for over 15 years. I've got 3 albums on iTunes.
Nice. So where can they find that? Denise Vasquez, or is it under something else?
Yeah, it's under my name, Denise Vasquez. My first album is called Fighting Darkness. It's a live album, a live show that I did here in Los Angeles. It was a tribute to 9/11.
Okay.
The second album is called Live in One Take,
know that feeling.
Yeah, so my second album is a mixture of live recordings from the Virgin Islands of New York and Los Angeles, and my third album was actually recorded in a studio in Nashville, not country. It's called Frame of Mind, and every song on my third album is a different genre of music. I want to showcase my songwriting skills, and it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. Like I have a few copies of the album left, but the cover of the album is black and white artwork, and when you open up the booklet, there's 13 pieces of art from different artists in full color.
Nice.
Yeah.
So is it like a booklet, or is it like, how is that arranged?
Well, not if you download it, you won't see it. But if you order let's say you wanted a CD, I only have a few left from me. Inside the CD packet, there's a booklet that you open up. It's really
Okay.
cool.
That's awesome.
And I had different artists that I used to work with at Flick Art Materials contributed their pieces, and they did their interpretations of a song. So each artist picked a song on the album. It was pretty neat.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Okay, well, this is the Piece of Music podcast. Thank you for tuning in at Spreaker. Make sure to check out the whole interview on YouTube at youtube.com/PeaceSum is where you'll find more information on that. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later on Spreaker. Moving on. We're not quite finished yet. We've got a little bit more. I'm just ending up the live. So now we're on the pre-recorded interview session that will be merged with the clips that you sent me. So when we finish up this interview, we've got some clips of Denise in her stand-up routines. But first, let's dig a little deeper, ask a few more questions. What would you do, or what would you say to upcoming musicians and comedians wanting to get in the game?
Well, the most important thing is that you have to love what you do, and you have to be really passionate about what you're doing, and you have to, be willing to do the work, because it takes a lot of work, a lot of focus. It's not about the money or being famous. I can't tell you how many young enthusiastic people come up to me. The first question is, how much money do I make? How much money do you make? And I don't make very much money.
Yeah.
And I'm not, a superstar or famous, and that's not what it's about to me. Of course, we all, do it in hopes of having a career, and eventually I believe the money does come, but you have to be willing to sacrifice a lot, if not everything in your life. I don't see my family every day, I don't go out and socialize every day. I'm hitting the mics. That's my social life, is hitting the mics.
Yeah.
Last night you emailed me. I'm like, I'm on the mics right now. But I love it. And if you're passionate about it, you work hard, and you stay focused, I believe anything's possible. It just, you have to really, really want it. You're like,
Yeah, no, I know the feeling. It's like you gotta just keep grinding every day. Every day's you gotta do something to push your dreams, because if you don't see progress in the little by little, it's not gonna happen. And a lot of people will get. Go ahead.
A lot of people get discouraged.
I was just gonna say that.
Discouraged,
Because it's easy. Because in the day, the little bitty progresses that you make, sometimes in the overall, when you're done for the day, you don't feel like you've done anything. But in the long spectrum of things, you look back and you're like, oh wow, there's quite a bit done. So very good, very good. So what else is coming up for you?
Well, I just auditioned for America's Got Talent. That was fun.
Oh yeah? How did that go?
It was an amazing experience. I just felt like I wanted to go down and to see what it was all about, and worked really hard preparing my set. When I first started doing comedy, my set was like Disney clean, Star Wars really clean, and then I went the opposite extreme and went really raunchy just to get out of my comfort zone, because I didn't want to have any hang-ups or insecurities about, things that I talked about. I wanted to be able to feel free doing stand-up comedy, and I had some hang-ups about, like, growing up we couldn't curse. My mom had a curse jar. So I went the opposite extreme when I studied with a teacher called David Arnold, and then I went So I worked really hard on writing a whole new set. I write every day. I post my jokes every day. And so I went down there with a whole new set, not knowing what to expect. Met amazing people from all over the world, which was really exciting and really encouraging and really inspiring to meet all these people with the same dream, you know, working really hard and looking all around and seeing everybody like in their zone. It brought me back to when I used to run track in high school, where everybody's like warming up and doing their thing, and everybody's about to run the race, you know, and the camaraderie was so supportive and so positive. You know, to me, being in a positive environment and surrounding yourself with people with the same goals is so important, and it was so nice to see that at this audition. Everybody was just really supportive and really positive, or maybe I just found those people, you know, I don't know.
Sometimes like attracts like, right?
I think so, you know. And it was a long day. It was like 8 hours, and my man Randy Martinez came down to support, and he was drawing and sketching while, you know, I was working on my, you know, getting focused, and so he couldn't come in with me to the audition, but went upstairs and killed it, and I felt like it was one of my best auditions in my life, and I just had fun, and they let me play to everybody in the room, and everybody was laughing, so that made me feel, I walked out feeling great, and it was a wonderful experience, and I met some amazing people, so that was great.
Awesome, awesome. So you've been together with Randy for quite a while. He's
9
in
years.
9 years. Wow, that's a tremendous amount of time. Congratulations. He does music as well. I know that he draws, right?
Yeah, he loves music, and what he does for a living, he's an illustrator.
Okay.
And he freelances, so he does a lot of art for like Lucasfilm. He does a lot of art for Marvel Fine Art. He's worked on some Alien art for Upper Deck, and he does a lot of different things. But he loves music too. He sings, he writes, he plays guitar, and he's pretty amazing.
You guys are like an awesome entertainer couple. It's like there's a lot going on there. That's super cool. So where can everyone find you?
You can find me. My official website is DeniseVasquez.com. On Twitter, I love Twitter. Tweet me. I'm always on Twitter at Denise Vasquez, Vasquez. Denise Vasquez, Denise Vasquez. Haven't had my coffee yet. But I'm always on Twitter, on Instagram, at Denise Vasquez 69.
Okay.
That's the year I was born.
Okay.
And then on Facebook, I have a new fan page. It's Denise Vasquez Entertainer. And my website, my official website is DeniseVasquez.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on today. And what's that? Oh, thanks for having me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. It's been great catching up, and we will be right back with a couple clips from Denise Vasquez. Don't go nowhere.
Everybody gets offended by so many things nowadays, right? You go on the internet, everybody's offended. I found something that offends me, you guys. I found something. The word Hispanic. Break it down. His panic. Right?
The older I get, the hornier I get. Okay? Even holding this mic is turning me on a little bit.
I have a love-hate relationship, as you can tell, with the internet. I love texting and tweeting and Facebooking when I'm on the toilet so I can get all my shit out at once. My man loves my new short hair because it keeps the men away and it keeps the lesbians closer. Mm-hmm.